The following clip is presented to you by The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, available every Friday wherever you get your podcasts and at extremehardy.com. And you've got his dog's collar. And you may recall, everyone, that Jeff suffered a real-life loss in the spring of 2008, where there was a house fire and his dog, in real life, was killed. And you're more or less taking credit for burning the house down, and you're holding the dog collar. It's very morbid. What did you think of the creative direction behind this? Do you remember who pitched this in the first place? You're taking credit for all the things that have gone wrong, including the, as you alluded to earlier, him being laid out in the stairwell. This seems like it might have crossed a bridge too far here.
Yeah, and I know I've told you that in some of our conversations as well. This felt like the first time that it seemed like maybe not feasible to happen, because it was pretty heavy. And I want to say it was a writer that came up with this and pitched it to Vince, and then Vince sold off on it, and he was okay with it. And I remember speaking to him like, "Oh, you think this might be a little too far?" That was a question I just wanted to ask him, like, because people really believe this thing, that I am jealous of Jeff and I'll do anything to get this match and prove that I'm the superior Hardy. But is this taken a little too far, saying that I burnt down his house and killed his dog? Like, I can see, creating some sort of pyro accident that's not going to kill him, or, trying to run him off the road or scare him or whatever, but just like burning his house down with him in it and actually killing his dog, which is a real thing, that might be a little too much. And I want to say, like, I thought with the angle in storytelling, it might be jumping the shark. It might be a little too much. But he said, I mean, it's reality. He said, it's something we can work with. And I think it's going to work. It just all depends on how you play it off. He said, you just have to kind of commit to it. And I think it can really add a lot of heat to you. And I said, okay, if you want to do it, I will do my damnedest to make it work. I'll give it my total effort. It felt really weird doing it, and I just remember when they took a dog collar and they were burning it. It all felt so weird, like so wrong.
I mean, how'd Jeff feel about
it? Jeff being laid back like he is, he's like, okay, I mean, if you guys want to do it, that's fine. But I do remember the promo. That's when he came out and finally attacked me, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
I do know there was a cold open where they did a video and they showed his dog in there, and Jeff said he got so emotional and like he was about to cry in Gorilla whenever he saw that. And they said, "Okay, you got to be fired up. You got to be fired up." And he's like, "I can't be fired up." He said, "Like, I'm sad right now." He said, "Like, I mean, I'm going to go to the ring like sad and mad. I mean, that's how I am, and that's how I really feel." But they had, at one point, he said, "All right, go out there. You got to be fired up. You're going to kick ass." And he's like, "I can't be fired up. I just saw this video of my dog that I love dearly that, burnt down in my house, and I lost everything I've had in my house." So it was a little tough on him with that. And it's maybe a little bit out of the realm of believability, but we tried to make the most out of what we had to work with.
How much do you remember that fire affecting Jeff?
Well, I remember it affecting me because I was at my house and, we live through the woods and I could see this crazy light going on over there. And then I was trying to call Jeff, no answer. And then I drove over to his place and I went to his house and the whole house was engulfed in flames, and you can imagine, I don't know, are they in there? And I'm running up and like, I'm trying to knock on the door. I'm yelling, I'm hitting the door, trying to knock it in, and it's burning out. And it's just, then like later, I get a call from Jeff on my cell, and they were out grocery shopping late or whatever. It was dark. I remember it was 8, 9 o'clock. But I was terrified. I didn't know if my brother and his wife, girlfriend were in there at that time. So that was obviously horrifying. It was very mentally scarring to me, especially showing up there. It was terrifying. You can only imagine how I felt and how my heart dropped when I, got up to this house and the whole thing was engulfed in flames. So it was really hard on Jeff. The dog was the most sad thing because Jeff is a big dog lover, and that dog he was super close with. I mean, he's one of those massive dog lovers. And, the reality of it was he was living in my house for the next 8 or 9 months after that while he rebuilt a new house. So it was it was definitely a sad night. It was very mentally scarring to me, just thinking that I was gonna lose my brother in this fire. Like when I got there, it was terrifying, terrifying. And the fact that I'll never get the sigh of relief when I heard back from him that he wasn't in there, just that he was okay. And I just remember saying, "Dude, your house, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone." And he's like, "What?" And I remember them rushing back, and there were firefighters, fire trucks coming in at that time. Like, oh, that was just such a crazy night. It just doesn't seem real in so many ways. So obviously that was a massive event in his life. So just to turn that into an angle was, it was heavy and it was very challenging to do too. But like, once again, they really wanted us to run with this idea. So we just tried to make the most of it, and we did what we could do with it.
Wrestling can be great when you lean into real life and help it fuel your stories, but I do feel there is somewhat of a line when you're talking about something very traumatic where there was legitimate loss of life here. Sure, it was a dog, but it was someone very close to Jeff and something that he very much cared about, and it's legitimate loss of life. Something just seems a little icky about that. And on top of that, too, if we're giving you the implied credit for trying to murder your brother and burn his house down, like, first off, we know there's only one Hardy that burns houses down, and it ain't you and it ain't Jeff. Okay? But NWA, but it's almost like there's no coming back for that. You guys are lucky.
The Die Hard podcast people are going to pop on that reference, John. That was really well played.
Thank you. I let it play out here. The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. But listen, like, seriously, coming back from an angle where your brother tried to murder you and burn your house down, you're fortunate that you were able to, because that's a pretty big shark that's jumped, as you alluded to. Like, Undertaker and Kane, fine, they're supernatural creatures. It's whatever. They're wizards who burn shit down, right? But I don't know. You guys are real brothers, and just something just seems, I don't know. I think you lucked out, Matt, that you guys were able to come back from that, truthfully.